You're watching the Hawks Sports Network. It's great to have you with us for this OCAA gold medal final between the Humber Hawks and the Algonquin Wolves. The team from the 613 looking to, perhaps you could say, upset the number one nationally ranked team, Humber, as this should be a good one. Both teams ranked in the top 15 nationally. Humber coming in at that number one spot. Meanwhile, for Algonquin, after the course of the season, finishing up in 11th in the entire nation rankings. My name is Matt Hamill, and pleased to have you with us for what should be a great game. I'm alongside my broadcast partner, Andrew Milani. Andrew, it all comes down to this. Yesterday and today has been that Final Four action, and we find out in just a few moments who takes home provincial gold.
Yeah, both these teams winning some real nail-biters yesterday to get to this gold medal match. Humber doing against their crosstown rival Seneca Sting, and Algonquin doing against the Sheridan Bruins. And both those teams, of course, we just witnessed in the bronze medal match. But these two teams you see in front of you, they have dominated the last 30 years of OCAA men's soccer, winning 25 of the last 30 gold medals combined.
Step aside quickly for the national anthem. At the anthem, and we are almost ready to go. Andrew, some big key points to highlight right off the get-go. Algonquin, their starting goalkeeper, was injured, is not in the lineup for today. So the man with the $1 million hairdo, Olivier Langlois, will be the keeper for the team from the nation's capital. Wearing the black kits for today is that Algonquin team. And for Humber, wearing white, Andrew, they're going to be leaning on Sheberstov, who has been the guy, the lion's share of the season in the goalkeeping role. That's how things are shaping up on that end of the game.
Yeah, and Sheberstov has been rock solid for Humber all season. You know you're getting a net from him. Expect to see a lot of the same here today. It's going to be interesting, though. It's a West versus East matchup. These teams, of course, do not get to see each other at all during the regular season, so there's a little extra wrinkle in this one. But Humber, they've been undefeated on the season. They've been rolling. I think we know what to expect from them here today.
Looking to complete the undefeated season as they tied a game early in the year against Sheridan, who we just saw fall in that bronze medal match. And then, Andrew, September 11th until a playoff game just last week, Humber did not allow a goal over a 5-week span. So about 10 games without allowing a goal, really highlighting the defensive prowess of this Humber team. But let's not underscore their offensive ability as well. For Humber, they scored 38 goals over the course of the regular season. That was the best in the province. You see numbers like that, only 3 goals allowed for Humber the entire regular season. That certainly helps to illustrate why they are ranked number one in the nation.
Yeah, and head coach Michael Aquino has them playing such a strong possession style, which if you're scoring a lot and not conceding a lot of goals, I mean, you're certainly doing your job well there. Humber loves to possess that ball from their back end, kind of work the ball upfield, stretch out the field, and they don't let their opponents have that ball too often. So it's obviously, though, it's going to be a little bit different here today against one of the best here in the province, Algonquin. Can they keep it together here for one more game? And, I mean, both these teams are already going to nationals. We know that, but you want to win that gold medal to get the preferred seeding in that tournament as well.
Yeah, both of these teams are heading east for the national tournament hosted by St. Thomas in Fredericton, New Brunswick. So that will be a fun game to track, or a couple of games to track there in Atlantic Canada, as the Nationals are hosted in the Maritime region. But right now, Andrew, the big moment. There's a look at Humber's keeper, Sheberstov, getting situated between the pipes. Andrew, so many players to highlight for Humber, and we're really going to be just waiting to see who's going to be the player to get the offense going for the Hawks, or perhaps Algonquin's able to find a way to slow down the roll of Humber. But that has been a very tough assignment for teams this season, finding a way to stop the scoring of the Hawks.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I said before, like, this team possesses the ball a lot. They get a lot of chances, a lot of opportunities by stretching that field out wide, kind of working things back and forcing the other team to adapt. And they are a tough offense to stop with all that talent.
Great energy here at Esther Shiner Stadium as the gold medal match is now underway. You know Algonquin's going to want to be keeping an eye on number 12, the OCAA Player of the Year for Humber, Christian Kashishian, given that distinction as the best player in Ontario this season.
Yeah, and well-deserved. Can do it from any which way, really. But 8 goals on the season, obviously the number that speaks up the most, and he's just been a tremendous asset for these Hawks.
So Kashishian wearing number 12. We'll keep an eye on that young man in the white kit today. Humber retreating back into their own zone for now. And you really hear the fans coming alive as the sunshine pokes from behind the clouds here as we get this gold medal game underway.
Yeah, great crowd here today. We heard them singing loud and proud that national anthem. Very good crowd here today. Should be a lot of fun.
So right here in North York, and you certainly get the sense some fans have traveled from Ottawa. Quick early chance as Marcus Riviere, a very dangerous rookie weapon for Humber, gets some early action there in tight.
And Humber showing some aggressiveness early on here. Luca Pinto, the left back, already going in that box. So Humber thinking getting a goal early.
You talk about Christian Kashishian having 8 goals and 1 assist and being the OCAA Player of the Year. For Humber, the rookie, Marcus Riviere, has 7 goals and 3 assists. So talking a lot of weapons Humber can rely on, even some fresh faces in their rookie campaign. Good corner kick there is going to be cleared out for now, but Humber maintains possession. You see Alvarado giving chase. Another notable absence in the game for the challengers here today in Toronto, Algonquin. They are without Karim Tosin, who actually scored a goal yesterday in Algonquin's 3-2 victory over Sheridan. So they're without one of their goal scorers from yesterday, in addition to being without their starting goalkeeper.
We have a Humber player down opposite side, quick to get up though.
Yeah, Franz
Free
Mella.
kick.
Yeah, he took a little bit of an extra pause there to get up.
Franz Mella scoring one of the nicest goals that Humber's had all season in that quarterfinal matchup against Centennial off a free kick. Curled it around the wall into the top corner.
And Humber plays it back to Sheberstov, who boots it deep into the Algonquin side. Good act, good intensity early in this game as Riviere gets sprung again, and big contact. No whistle, and Riviere is waving right away. And bad news, we just talked about how Riviere is such an important weapon for Humber. And quite the collision. No call made by the official, and Riviere seemed like right away he was indicating that he was hurt pretty bad.
Yeah, we saw the leg of that Algonquin defender kind of get in there. Looked like they got tangled up. Riviere back up on his feet, though. Appears he's going to stay in the match.
Andrew, one thing we've seen throughout the semifinals and the medal games so far is, you know, the officials may be more keen to not make a lot of calls, especially in those contact plays, let the players play. And that time some Humber fans are going to be unhappy with the no call. Big contact there.
Yeah, it's one of those things that can be frustrating as a player. Something that I don't personally understand when it comes to this. If it's a penalty or a foul on game one, it should be a foul in the last game, but that's the way it goes according to the referee.
Here's a look at Humber now on that near sideline, gaining some good ground. Very physical kind of tone here early in this one.
Yeah, Luca Pinto doing a great job fighting for space.
Played out to Mella. Into the midfield area now. Gotta like the pressure we've seen early in the game from Humber, right, Andrew? I mean, certainly some quality chances, but good time of possession as well in the offensive end. Not so much the other direction for Algonquin quite yet. Granted, we're only 5 minutes into this one.
I mean, Humber's got guys basically from up and down that lineup that can play a part in that attack.
The Algonquin Wolves are head coached by Angus Wong, and for Humber, it's Michael Aquino, 11 years at the helm of the Humber men's soccer program, who have had remarkable success both at the provincial level and going on to win a flurry of national championships as well.
Yeah, the national dynasty, winning 7 of the last 11 national tournaments. Absolutely incredible what this program's been able to accomplish.
Last year, Humber was not only looking for the provincial championship title, but they were also lined up last season to maybe go and capture a three-peat at the national scene, but they did not win the provincial gold last year, settling for silver to Conestoga. So you know Humber's got to be real motivated to recapture that provincial gold, but a certain standard for Humber is also kind of looking ahead to the nationals as well. But right now we've got the Humber in this provincial match against a tough Algonquin team.
And that national three-peat, the only real thing to elude this team, they've won back-to-back plenty of times at the national stage, but can't quite get 3 in a row. And, I mean, that's obviously very hard.
Well, yeah, before losing last year's provincial championship game, settling for silver, they were coming off a 4-peat as provincial champions, looking to get back on that track here. Algonquin feeding it up that sideline now. Gaining some ground with some reinforcements catching up to the play. Humber taking it away. And feeding it for Jacob Ball. Jacob Ball is really such an effective player in the OCAA. And a whistle going against the Hawks.
And a warning being presented to the player that committed the foul. We'll get one more look.
Here at the point of attack. Didn't see a whole lot there, but
the referee giving the player a warning there, too, on that call.
Free kick just past the midfield line, and this is a big, booming kick, handled nicely by Sheberstov, who had to do a good job. And tell you what, Algonquin's fans sound to have traveled well. It's Marcus Riviere, who went down with an injury earlier, is racing after that ball. Now Jacob Ball is stepping inside, creating some space. Look out, Jacob Ball with the first goal of the provincial championship. Something out of nothing, an absolute beautiful move to get the first goal of the game.
And absolutely, you see Marcus Riviere got the play started there. Jacob Ball getting the ball in the box, weaving his way around the defender, and just found that little bit of light there, tucking that ball in the near post. We'll get one more look at that play.
You see this, Andrew, it was just a matter of a nice move to the inside, and then another move here. Tucking it in the post. Goodness gracious. How's that for a hot start?
And just like that, 1-0 Humber in the early stages of the 9th minute of this game. And this Humber crowd here is fired up after that goal. Listen to how loud it is here, Matt. What an atmosphere.
As we see Ball able to beat Langlois. Mella doing some disco dancing here around midfield. And that will be cleared and too far for Riviere to get under it.
Big takeaway here in the attacking third for Humber.
Yeah, and that's going to be blocked by a well-positioned Wolf defender. So we've already seen on full display some of the offensive dynamic prowess of Humber. But the defenders are so strong as well for the Hawks, led by their captain, Matthew Leitch, on that back line.
And Leitch so good on the ball at both ends. A lot of the time he's the one jump starting the attack there from that right back position, and he's just as quick to get back on defense.
So chasing it here as you see Humber's Carmine Fior, who was quite a factor in that semifinal game, that win for Humber over Seneca. Fiore was just an absolute problem when he was crashing the offensive zone. Throw in for the Wolf team right here on the near sideline.
Yeah, badly timed play there by Humber. They had plenty of time and space, no point to rush that one out of bounds.
And we'll have a throw in. It's Pinto puts it into Franz. As Franz is looking ahead. Tough pass to handle. Humber will now regroup. Humber now doing a good job of getting the ball in the zone. They're going to send it back in the middle to Franz with some nice ball control, getting some oohs and ahs from the home crowd.
Showing off some nifty footwork there.
And a incensed Humber crowd is right back with some big plays here. And goodness gracious, bodies kind of flying all over the field right now.
Yeah, great tackle there by Alvarado. He lost the ball there on the throw-in, but a good job to kind of snuff out that attacking play there by Algonquin.
Andrew, the last two times, check that, Andrew. Yeah, the last two times these teams have met in the provincial championship game, Humber captured the win both times and also went on to, after beating Algonquin in the provincial round, win the national championship. That was in 2015 and 2016. But Andrew, for 4 years in a row, from 2013 to 2016, Humber and Algonquin met each of those years in the provincial championship game. Algonquin winning one of those times in the 2014 year.
An absolutely unbelievable string of success by these two sides.
Yeah, really to highlight, just when you talk about OCAA men's soccer, these two programs are the ones that come to mind.
In two of Ontario's premier cities as well. Algonquin, like you said earlier, representing the 613 of Ottawa.
Yeah, the nation's capital versus the provincial capital. But as you mentioned, both of these teams will be making their way to the national tournament in New Brunswick. But only one of these teams is going to make that flight out east with some gold hardware back in the trophy case.
A lot of contact there, no foul.
Riviere will send it outside. Mella, who has had a lot of control of the ball early in this game, is going to send that over to Pinto on the near side. Pinto now looking to feed it down. And Humber will have to surrender possession here.
And Matt, my friend, this first half already just flying by, already in the 15th minute. Does not feel like it.
Yeah, no question. It is an exciting match where sometimes, yeah, it just seems to fly by. Now, one thing I want to highlight, it is cool out there for these athletes. Now, the sun is shining, and that's got to help for players kind of competing on a colder day. Only 11 degrees for the high this afternoon in North York, but the wind is a factor. And if you get a look at any of the flags here, you know, on the sidelines or anything, you can really sense of just how strong that wind is coming. You can probably hear it hitting our microphones as well here.
Yeah, during, I guess, the break between the bronze and gold medal matchups, I went on to the sideline where they have the benches, and you could really feel the wind down there.
Ooh, that was almost a very dangerous play as Humber was looking to see Franz feed it into Kashishi in the player of the year, but well defended by Algonquin that time to snuff out what could have been a very dangerous opportunity. Humber already up 1-0 after that early goal from Jacob Ball. Andrew, a couple times this year, Humber has on 2 occasions tied a program record for biggest win. 2 13-0 victories, one of those coming in the opening round of the playoffs against Mohawk.
Yeah, I mean, if you have one game where you score 13, it's usually a tremendous time, but 2, that's
parade.
Yeah. Yeah, but you've done it twice. That's a sign right there.
Goes to show, yeah, some of the offensive output. But again, don't let that outshine how strong Humber's defensive play has been.
Nope.
Shishian not able to get in reach of that one. And a long clearing kick. And how about the foot speed on display right now? Jaden Mercure, this is the biggest offensive weapon for Algonquin, number 17. Wearing the black and green jersey here, Mercure, over the course of the season, 9 goals and 5 assists. And Andrew, those 9 goals, they have him in 2nd place in OCAA scoring, or just behind 2 players who had 11.
Yeah, just an offensive dynamo on the side of Algonquin, credited with 3 game winners on the year as well. So look for him to do something big here today.
Yeah, Mercure with a couple of assists as well, and that puts him 2nd in overall points for OCAA men's soccer players this year. So we'll keep an eye on number 17 for Algonquin, and we've already highlighted a number of big offensive threats for the Hawks, but maybe none more prominent than the player of the year, Christian Kashishian, number 12.
Yeah, just a spectacular midfielder for the Hawks. Doing it, of course, with his attack, but getting back on defense as well in his playmaking.
Pinto clears it up high, and that's going to allow a fight for the ball. A couple of Humber players converging on the play. Around midfield.
And Algonquin, despite being down a goal, doesn't seem to be too eager to be pressing guys upfield just as of yet. They seem to be content with playing a conservative style game, at least for now.
Yeah, well-coached teams, so you would imagine they're, made their way to the gold medal match for a reason. And looks like, yeah, they are keeping their cool, but some early game adversity for the team from Ottawa. Down a goal thanks to a wonderful play by Jacob Ball.
The All-Canadian.
Good offense here. Humber's going to be tested defensively, and that's going to beat Leitch. Making his way in, a couple of moves in the box. Just all kinds of Humber defenders swarming the area, and no dice as the Wolves come up empty, and now back the other way, and it's the goal scorer for Humber, Ball, who does such a good job using his foot speed and stretching out the field, but that time the pass was just a little too far ahead.
Yeah, showing off some of that speed there on that sideline. Almost was able to run that ball down, but not quite as he ran out of room.
Yeah, Ball brings such a great skill set to the table for this Humber team, as you saw Jacob Ball scored that goal, but oftentimes, he is one of the leaders in the province in assists, and that's because he's able to just stretch the field and then usually just send it over for a nice tap-in goal for one of his teammates. And we'll see if he digs into that part of his game today. But right now, that lone goal is the difference maker in this first 19 minutes of the match. Christian looking to battle for it, but the Algonquin player El Karafi came away with it. Humber stripping it. Played into the middle of the field. Gaining some good ground here. As Carmine Fiore plays it back. Now a big cross-field kick. Ball taps it to Kashishian. Lescano with it here. Lescano plays it back. Humber working it into the middle. A big strike there, and that's going to go a little high and a little wide.
Yeah, we see Franz Mella getting it done off his foot a lot of the time there, but just a little wide there. But he's, of course, their set-piece specialist, so he's not afraid to unwind and let it go from there. And sometimes it works for him. Unfortunately, it did not that time.
Andrew, we have seen so many highlight reel goals from Humber this season, and we'll see if maybe this match has one in store. Wouldn't that be a fitting way for Humber to perform in the gold medal match, as they've really had such dazzling offensive plays throughout the season?
Yeah, it would be a fitting way to cap off their conference play this year.
But we talked about Humber not only leading the province in goals for over the regular season with 38, but also leading the province with the best goals against, only 3 allowed. Algonquin, no slouch, they're only 2 goals behind Humber with 36 goals over the course of the 10-game regular season, and they allowed only 9, so under 10 goals allowed over the course of the regular season for Algonquin. Impressive stuff, high caliber soccer in the mix here for the provincial championship. Played onto that far side by Mella. Andrew, a little score update for women's soccer. The Humber Hawks ladies are losing 1-0 in the 28th minute to Seneca. And that's the OCAA championship game. So Humber with a chance to take home both men and women's gold. But right now we're looking at a men's game that's seeing a little bit of a more favorable outlook, at least early in the match, for the Humber men's team.
Yeah, despite a little bit of a hiccup back there a few minutes ago for the Hawks, it's been all Humber here in the early stages of this match, just about halfway through the first half.
So we'll have a free kick, and you really get the sense that number 10 for Humber, Franz Mella, is kind of like the quarterback here. A lot of the plays are going through him, a lot of possession, and kind of the field general right now for Humber early in the game.
The Andrea Pirlo, if you will.
Which team does he play quarterback for?
He was quarterback for the Italian national soccer team. I do not think he'll be in any NFL action tomorrow. I could be mistaken, though.
Played back to Sheberstov. You know, for Sheberstov, such an excellent season in the games that he's started for Humber. Has not had to face too many shots. Two first-year keepers for Humber, that has been the story. Daniel Sinai and Peter Sheberstov split the regular season with 5 games started each.
And Severshoff, not the biggest goalie in the world, standing at 6'1", but tremendously athletic and can get around that net with no problem, making big saves when needed.
Yeah, Humber losing the services of Sinai. He's not dressed here today. But to see 2 first-year keepers play so well in their first campaign is obviously a good sign of things to come for the storied Humber men's soccer program.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to be very excited if you're a Hawks fan.
Handball there. We'll give the ball to the Hawks. And Pinto will look to get this one going. And across midfield and out of bounds. So early goal from Humber, courtesy of Jacob Ball, and not a lot of offensive rhythm established yet for their opponents, as Algonquin has just not really had much of a chance to really get things in motion. They did have a good rush with their leading offensive weapon, Jaden Mercure. He did lead a good charge earlier in the game, but other than that, it's been a little slim pickings for Algonquin in the offensive zone.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a sequence there as well where they had some men in the box, they had the ball, just couldn't find that shooting lane there. Humber's defenders and midfielders doing a good job to keep that from happening.
Yeah, it's a good point. And on that play you're referencing, it was just a case of a lot of Humber defenders just swarming and closing off all those passing lanes and shooting lanes. And that's going to be something Algonquin needs to get a feel for, right? Andrew, these teams don't play in the regular season in the East and West Division respectively. So there's not really an opportunity until now to try to get a feel for a team and figure out what you may be able to do to find some success. And for Humber, excellent defensive play, maybe some of the best in the province this year. We'll see if Algonquin can sort of solve that Rubik's Cube. Here's Riviere on that far sideline, and he's hauled down. Riviere's gotten on the business end of a few collisions here early in this match.
Yeah, it looked like a lot of contact there, went down right away. Referee's going to call that every time.
So ball on the 45-yard line. And just waiting here, and 27-minute mark is almost here. So Andrew, as you highlighted, this is a fun game. Great matchup here, and it seems to be flying by so far. Andrew, Humber had a 1-0 lead in their match yesterday against Seneca, and then Seneca really shocked Humber and scored a late one to tie things up on a beautiful strike, and that really caused some maybe some palpitations in Hawks Nation as it ultimately had to go to overtime. Humber scoring the goal there, and that was the difference maker.
Yeah, no penalties have been necessary as of yet in this OCAA Final Four.
Throw in just on that Algonquin side of the field. And now back onto Humber's side of the battleground. Good movement and looking for a lane. Well defended there.
Ooh, head-to-head collision almost.
Oh, goodness. That's a big, big collision. Getting some grumbles and groans from the cheering section here.
Yeah, referee keeping his cards in his pocket for the time being.
LaShawn Facey for Humber, who was on the business end of that collision.
Yeah, Gershom Dupuis getting called for the foul there.
Well played here, and that's just going to hit the back of Riviere. Might be tough to kind of gauge some of those long, deep kicks because, again, the wind could sort of alter that trajectory.
Yeah, you kind of get an initial look at the ball there. You think it's going to go this way, but then like there, or if you're not quite ready for that one as it hit his back.
Great moves by Dupuis, and he's going to try to get his Wolf team going in the right direction.
Already in the closing third, basically, of this first half. 15 minutes left to go.
Look at this. The player of the year, Kashishian, streaking down. He's going to fire one off, and a big save made by the Algonquin keeper, Olivier Langlois.
Yeah, Kashishian not quite able to get a clean strike on that one, but made do and was able to get it on net, but a great save there by the keeper.
Yeah, give him credit for finding a way to just get something off in that situation. And Kashishian will play it across to the other side, but nobody home, and that's going to give Algonquin a lot of room to push the ball up. Watch out now. This is Algonquin's best offensive weapon, and coming together. And Andrew, again, no call, and that's the style of play the official has been kind of dictating as another no call and a fairly good collision there.
Yeah, referee continues to say play on, and Algonquin still not saying too many men on the attack. It was really just 3 men on in there with 2 guys in support, but not really hanging in there in the box or anywhere near the box.
And another possible foul there. Let's take another look at Christian Kashishian streaking in here, Andrew. He got fed, and he was able to work a little bit of magic.
Yeah, Lascano there with a beautiful ball to feed him. Yeah, the defender there might have gotten a piece of that one, but Kashishian getting a low shot for the near post.
Andrew, yesterday, Christian Kashishian scored the opening goal of the game for Humber, and that really set the tone in that game. Seneca also ultimately tied it up in that semifinal, but it was Thomas Joseph who came in off the bench, able to give Humber that lead in overtime, and maybe we'll see if another depth player, you know, we talk about Humber's offense, Humber's defense, but their depth is another great strength. When you have the #1 team in the nation, you know you got some great guys that just maybe don't crack that starting lineup.
Yeah, I mean, it's always been a huge calling card for Humber, but a chance here. Yes!
Another goal here. The Humber Hawks take a 2-0 lead in the first half of the gold medal match. Here comes the celebration. We're going Zen mode in that corner. Namaste. Jacob Ball with his second of the match. We have another angle of this huge goal in the gold medal match here.
Another player that just seemed to come out of nowhere. Just got fed the ball, found that opening, and puts it away past the keeper, finding him going aggressive. And just like that, 2-0 Humber Hawks.
So a meditation-based celebration for Ball on his second of the game.
And the smoke bombs are out here.
So we're back in action here. Humber is up 2-0 thanks to Jacob Ball doubling up on goals here.
And I wonder if we get to see a little bit more urgency from Algonquin from the Wolves at this point, now that they're down by 2.
Andrew, here we are. It's Algonquin in the end here, in their own end, turning it over as Marcus Riviere feeds it over to Mella. Mella takes a crack at it, blocked, and cleared out back to the midfield area.
Mella saw that little ray of sunshine and thought, why not go for it?
Midfield area, and Marcus Riviere again battling for it, and it's going to go in favor of the Wolves here. The Hawks versus the Wolves. It's been a good one this far. That Humber fans have liked the outcome up until the 35th minute. And the captain for Algonquin will send that in deep and out of play. So it was an effort by number 24, Christian Viles Morina.
And Luca Pinto made sure that he wouldn't get the ball there, making sure he bodied him out.
And handled here by Langlois.
Less than 10 minutes left to go in this first half. Don't imagine we're going to see too much added time.
No, hasn't been much other than Marcus Riviere going down early in the box. Haven't seen much in the way of injuries or trainers on the field, which is good. You know, Algonquin would love to get on the board. That could really change the vibe here, because right now it's kind of the Humber Hawks show. But we have, again, you highlighted, Andrew, some of those offensive chances for Algonquin, but they've been just greatly outnumbered by the sort of offensive output from Humber in this game.
Now Algonquin looks like they're finally pushing men upfield. And a good spot for a free kick here, about 24 yards out.
Yeah, just about 5 yards outside of the box. And a chance for Algonquin to, the ball gets blown by the wind there.
Mother Nature reminding the players who's really in charge, I guess.
And that's up high and headed out by the Humber defense. This is going to be in a dangerous area and cleared out of the zone. And Algonquin is,
I think they wanted a handball.
Exactly. Not going to get it, but it will be Algonquin ball on about the 25-yard area, and they're going to retreat back to midfield. Knocking on the door of the 38-minute mark. So getting late here in the half. And you know Algonquin and their head coach, Angus Wong, is stressing just how important it is for them. Maybe if you don't score a goal, Andrew, you got to get some big chances here and establish yourself in the offensive zone.
Yeah, that would be my message too. Just push for that one big chance. You know, force the keeper to make a save, make your move around a defender. Just something to get some momentum going into the second half.
A little rhythm, little mojo, because Humber seems to have lots of that in this first half. Nice moves there as Mella dances and finds some open space for Humber. And a feed into the middle. Saw that was looking for Pinto, but a little shy.
Algonquin wanted a foul there, won't get it.
Another one, but Andrew, it's at least you can say it's consistent. I mean,
yes.
There have been a lot of no calls, and you've mentioned you're not a fan of it. I sort of appreciate a little bit of letting the players determine the outcome as opposed to having a big call maybe influence the outcome of a championship game. But at any rate, that's what the players have to adjust to, is refs are going to allow a little bit extra by the looks of it.
I mean, it's all okay as long as the referee can keep control of the game, which so far I don't think we're in any danger of losing control here. So
Humber women's team, just a little update for you. They're at Newnham Field here in Toronto, taking on Seneca, and Humber down 2-1 to the Seneca Sting in the 41st minute of the Ontario Women's Championship game.
The women's team for Humber looking to get back on top after falling last year. They won it 2 years ago.
And that's deep in the Humber zone. And the official calling a corner kick, and the Algonquin faithful right below us in the stands. They're happy about that. We'll see what sort of opportunity Algonquin can squeeze out of this corner kick late in the half.
Yeah, and this is the opportunity that the Algonquins are going to be looking for, like we alluded to before. And Jacob Ball's going to be checking out of this game.
So Ball getting some well-deserved rest after a stellar game-changing first half. 2 goals, and the corner kick comes in early while Humber was coming in with the substitution. Into the game for Jacob Ball is number 9, Damian Kay, the veteran player for Humber.
His 5th and final year of OCAA eligibility. Same with Jason Alvarado, who started today.
And Sheberstov up there getting the handle on it. Humber clearing the zone. And Riviere with a nifty move to hop it over.
Wow, just kept it in.
Yeah, it was close. Now Damian Kay, he just checked into the game, cold off the bench, but you wouldn't know it. He's good burst of speed. Wow. You know,
Holy.
How about that? As Riviere is jumping all over the field right now, and he's able to deflect that for the Algonquin throw-in.
Yeah, Marcus Riviere acting like he just got shot out of a cannon the way he's been going lately. Holy.
DK, good moves, and he's on the turf and loses the handle.
Humber finding a second win here in the late stages of the first half. Wow.
You think Damian Kay's motivated? You mentioned in his 5th year. This is the final collegiate game he's going to play in the province of Ontario. He'll head to nationals in New Brunswick, but certainly wanting to end his Ontario portion of his collegiate career on a high note here. Number 9 for Humber.
And certainly off to a great start.
Yeah, how about that? Stepping into the game for Jacob Ball, a guy who's had a big impact, and looks like DK is ready to make an impact. Here he is with the ball again. He plays it out to Kashishian. And Pinto was the one that maybe was the intended target, but Lascano didn't quite put it in the right spot. Esther Shiner Stadium is where we are for this OCAA gold medal match. Humber, the de facto host, able to have the games on their regular season home field yesterday for the semifinals at the Ontario Soccer Centre in Vaughan. We're in North York today, about a 25-minute drive away from the Humber North campus.
Yeah, short drive down Steeles Avenue, basically.
Algonquin, not a lot of time in this first half to just, again, goal or not, just to maybe get something more to build off of, because they are in a little bit of a hole right now. And how about this? Good chance here as Leichmas plays it. Sheberstov all over it with the save.
Yeah, right there in the breadbasket for him. No chance of a goal there, hugging that near post.
And how's that for the Humber keeper to get in on the action a little bit? He doesn't see a whole lot of shots typically. But a big save made there, and good play. Algonquin pushing up here. Hamza leading the charge.
Yeah, great steal there from Luca Pinto. Thought he may have been able to deke around another defender there, but not to be.
Just some great soccer we get to watch here in this gold medal match. We had a wonderful bronze medal game as well, with the Seneca Sting capturing the bronze medal over Sheridan. Mella hanging on to it. Just great possession. He'll finally play it off towards the sideline. And a couple of bumps there, but I think the official's going to give it the initial bump in favor of the Wolves. So free kick coming up here. As Lascano maybe got a little too physical, but then he was on the receiving end of a little bump after the whistle had blown.
That's just the nature of the beast here in a gold medal match, I suppose.
Well, Andrew, you see it maybe in things like the NHL playoffs where things get a little more physical in that playoff round, and certainly a more physical brand of soccer we've had the past 2 days here in the Final Four.
Officially at the 45-minute mark here, so now into added time. Imagine we have a couple more minutes left to go. Free kick here for the Wolves.
And that's going to careen high out of touch, and another throw in on the way. Played in by Jacob Toast. And Damian Kay will play it out to Kashishi, who's tiptoeing on the sideline. That'll do it. One half of play. The Humber Hawks lead 2-0 in the gold medal match. We're trying to decide who's the king of Ontario. And right now, Andrew, it was the team from the 4-1-6 who bested the team from the 6-1-3 over the first 45 minutes.
Yeah, and all of that being led by Jacob Ball here for the Humber Hawks. Of course, had that goal early on. Put another one away a few minutes later, and he's looked spectacular, but all around a great effort from both sides here.
Look at Humber's goalie there, Sheberstov. Peter Sheberstov was also dynamite, making some good, solid plays in that first half. Here's a look at some of those saves from the rookie goalkeeper.
Taking a big couple gloves on that one off a corner kick. That was huge. And we'll get another angle from that one. A lot of Algonquin players kind of crowding that 6-yard box there. Not easy to make that play, but he gets up there and does that.
And here's a look at another quality save. You saw this was late, only a minute and a half, where Humber's captain, Matthew Leitch, misplays it, and that cooked up a nice chance, but this was right in the breadbasket, very confidently stopped as Humber maintains a 2-goal lead heading into half. It's been great having you with us watching this provincial gold medal match. We'll be right back after a quick break for the conclusion of this game between the Humber Hawks and Algonquin Wolves.
Shall I put it off for now? Okay.
Damn, they are. Oh my god. No, the last 24 hours, I found
Welcome back. We are moments away from the second half action of this provincial gold medal match. My name is Matt Hamill. I'm alongside my broadcast partner, Andrew Milani. Andrew, Jacob Ball balled out. 2 goals in the first half, and that's the difference maker in this 2-0 game.
Yeah, getting it done with some finesse there in the first half. A couple spectacular goals for Jacob. And really, Humber has not looked back, and really, I don't want to say they dominated the first half, but they certainly owned it with their play. Algonquin had trouble finding answers in the offensive end. Had a couple sequences there where they looked like they may have given Humber a little bit of trouble, but overall, Humber winning the battles on shots and shots on goal, and of course, the most important one on the scoreboard.
So Damian Kay, number 9 for Humber, the veteran 5th-year guy. He'll stay in the game to start out this second half. DK came off the bench, and number 9 did a good job of making an impact coming in on a cold October day. And Humber will start the second half with the lead and with the ball. As it looks like Jacob Ball, the 2-goal scorer, is going to start out. He kind of was subbed out late in the half. And he will remain out of the starting picture into the beginning of this half. But Andrew, aside from the 2 goals from Ball, what else do you think goes into this good lead for Humber as we finished up one half of play?
Well, I mean, it's been the same that we've seen all season. Just it all starts from a good possession game. They like to start out from their own end, kind of stretch out that field, and really working the other team's defense, making it tough on them. And of course, Sherbertsoff getting it done in net as well.
Some big saves from Sheverstoff, and a quick strike there from Franz Mella, and he's been outstanding throughout the first 45 minutes of the game, and Mella didn't waste much time here in the second half firing one on net. He's taken a few good strikes here in this match, but he's also just been dynamite. You mentioned the ball control, recipe for success for Humber. Franz has been a big part of that, controlling the ball and working that quarterback role here today in the gold medal game.
Yeah, kind of their free kick, their set piece specialist for Humber, getting it done all season. And I mean, kind of make it sound easy the way that Humber's done it this year, but every time they got the ball, they make sure that they have at least a couple players around them, kind of working in triangles. A couple players getting face-to-face here, running in there, making sure that we see no extracurricular activities. So a little bit of pushing and shoving in that bronze medal match last time out, just a couple hours ago. But both these sides here keeping it pretty clean here so far.
And the official will have a little extra word there with the member of the Wolves, giving him the old "cool it, Buster." "47-minute mark here in the gold medal match. Humber with the free kick. And Mella will find a good lane for Humber to work with. Now back towards the middle and uncorked it from the top of the box. And that's going to sail wide.
That's how we see a lot of these Humber attacking opportunities kind of unfold here, just like that. Some good passing, a little back and forth there, some fancy footwork there by Luca Pinto. And that shot just drifting wide, but a great scoring opportunity nonetheless.
Yeah, Damian Kay was the one who got the foot on that one. And a foul against Algonquin. And a yellow card issued to the offending party.
2 yellows.
Yeah, going both ways here.
First cards of the match.
As a brisk autumn wind really picks up here at the Esther Shiner Stadium. It is the kind of day you just want to be inside with a hot cup of tea, Andrew. We're out here, and these players are out here fighting for a gold medal in some unfriendly Toronto weather right now.
Yeah, just adding to the degree of difficulty here for the gold medal match. And in kind of a poetic kind of way, it's kind of perfect.
Free kick is sent up, and that's going to be bouncing around in front of Langlois. Nice, picked away there as Humber transitions. And taken away and cleared out for the moment. Facey plays it inside. And taken by Dupuis. Stolen away there by Riviere. Riviere back with it, playing a little pitch and catch here with Fiore. Header by Mella. Humber trying to get some forward movement here, pinned on that far sideline. Oh, what a slick pass there by Mella. Now played in. Riviere looking for a man. Riviere too strong, and he's called for the foul. Still keeping our eyes on Algonquin's #1 offensive weapon over the course of the season, Jaden Mercure. Here he is now as the ball's quickly taken away by Humber.
Yeah, hasn't really had any opportunities to speak of here so far. But as this game goes on and Algonquin starts to get a little bit more hungry, a little bit more desperate, we'll see what they can cook up.
Pinto is fighting defensively, and that's going to be a goal kick for Humber. Just seems to be getting increasingly more problematic, at least for us in the broadcast booth. Maybe these players running around, not as much of the misery index, maybe not as high, but goodness gracious.
She's chilly today.
Leitch, the captain for Humber, not able to get a header on it there. That's going to allow Algonquin a little forward movement. It's Gershom Dupuis helping to spark things. Mercure stripped away as Humber's captain able to shut down the Algonquin threat. Franz Mella doing his characteristic hanging on to the ball until he finds the right passing lane. Always interesting to see a player who is really comfortable hanging on to it, right, Andrew? You see a lot of guys, maybe they just want to make that quick play, but Mella clearly very comfortable hanging on to the ball.
Mella, and I'd add Lascano to that list as well. Both guys that can certainly do a lot with their playmaking ability on the pitch.
Usually those guys that have the ability to squeeze the possession for a long time, and look for that perfect play, those are usually some of your most dynamic playmakers. Wayne Gretzky was one to hang on to the puck for a little while, Andrew.
Sure, absolutely.
Damien Kay moving in from number 99 to number 9. And that is a quick shot fired off, but it's going to be wide of the net.
And about that playmaking, hanging on to the ball, I mean, think of like someone like Lionel Messi. That guy just has like the ball on the string when you see him play sometimes. And like Franz Mella, where's that number 10 usually reserved for your best playmaker?
And we're going to see a contested ball here, won by the Hawks. Pinto with it now as he trots up in towards the midfield area. And that's going to roll out of touch.
Yeah, they tried to spring Dupuis wide with that, but just couldn't get to it.
So not even 10 minutes into the second half. Kind of a different feel here, Andrew, and really seeing this game a little more of a stalemate, but Humber maybe looking to break that. Damian Kay with the feed into the middle and well defended as Oscar forward is all over it defensively. A little bit of drizzle coming down. Oh my goodness, a lot of drizzle coming down here. This is that Forrest Gump horizontal rain, folks. The wind is absolutely howling. Miserable weather here right now. And you see it's all hands on deck, just hanging on to those tents on the sideline.
Forrest Gump horizontal rain. I gotta put that one in my back pocket.
Remember in the movie, he's telling the story of the rain coming sideways. Jeberstov almost bobbles that one. He's got to be more aware there. There's a wolf right in the mix.
Yeah, Dupuis was basically on him that whole time there, even as he was kicking it way out of bounds. May have gotten away with the one there.
Well, to be fair, his teammates may have been kind of trying to alert him, but maybe with the wind howling in your ears, kind of tough to hear.
Free kick Hawks.
I mean, these got to be 60, 70 kilometer per hour gusts, Andrew. And for Algonquin, boy, tough to kind of cook up some offense in these conditions, right?
Yeah, I mean, the Humber certainly looking lucky to get a couple away in that first half here because, like you said, not ideal goal-scoring conditions here in the wet.
No, it's a little chaotic, right? And just kind of tough to organize a smooth, coordinated effort when, you know, all heck seems to be breaking loose in the weather department.
And I mean, some players like him more when you have kind of a slick field because you can kind of like have that ball slide down a little bit more, can get those big attacking runs, but this wind might kind of be the countermeasure to that.
Is it clean?
So 2-0 lead for Humber, 56 minutes into the match. 2 first half goals from Jacob Ball. And good movement here. Dupuis is going to send that long and a goal kick coming up. So not only has Humber's offense put them in a good position, defensively they have looked good as well. And in the goalkeeping department, Jeberstov has looked confident and, you know, making a few key saves in the first half. It's just got to be good for the mojo, right, to get your rhythm established. Sometimes it can be tough for Jeberstov and goalkeepers around the OCAA when you're just on a good team that doesn't really allow a lot of shots. You can kind of feel maybe a little out of the rhythm, and I think for Jeberstov, that is another strong asset for Humber, is that he's faced some shots and he's been able to stand tall, look very confident.
Yeah, I mean, having a keeper that can make that right save at the right time, that's sometimes all you need. Just to fire up the troops a little bit, you know?
And the whistle here as we'll get things sorted out and ball thrown in. Ball on that far side and turned over here. Good forward movement here, but that ball is picked off and kept just inside by Connor David. Connor David scored a goal yesterday in that win over Sheridan. All righty then. Now Algonquin, they're really going to want to, Andrew, we mentioned in the first half later on that, you know, a goal would be huge, but just starting to get a little bit of offensive mojo is also very important. And haven't seen a whole lot of offensive pressure from Algonquin here in the second half. But Jaden Mercure, this is one of their best players, and they are best offensive weapon this year. We'll see if he can maybe cook something up, number 17 in black.
Yeah, and I mean, even in the first half, Algonquin only with a couple of shots on net, only one on goal. 2 shots in total, I should say. But they've just been having trouble cracking the code of getting past Humber's midfield.
Vivolo plays it up there to forward. And the officials will blow this play dead.
Late call.
Very late whistle indeed. And the Algonquin fan base were quite upset about that play. Let's take a look, Andrew. So it was the play up into the middle here, and this is where the foul happened.
Yeah, tough to tell there if he got the ball. The player just got cut up in there or what happened exactly, but didn't look like anything malicious.
As the rain is coming back down again. You see the official right now having a word with Humber's number 5, LaShawn Facey. So after that long deliberation, we are now at the 60th minute and a free kick for Algonquin. See if, Andrew, they can tee up some important offense right now.
Yeah, half hour left. It's now or never, do or die time, however you want to phrase it. It's time now for Algonquin to try and push.
And that is a good strike and just tipped. And wow, that was threatening there as a hot free kick came in, took a deflection and almost found the inside of that post.
Yeah, for a second up here, it looked like that might have been going in, but just past that post. Wow.
Yeah, Sheberstov was a little put in a tough spot there on account of that deflection and didn't look like he was going to be able to get there in time. Had that been 2 feet more to the left, corner kick is denied. Quick throw in at midfield. Now Algonquin certainly with some good offensive pressure building right now. And this will be cleared out in towards midfield, and Damian Kay not able to corral it.
Kay in a bit of a difficult spot there, trying to corral that with about 4 or 5 Wolves players on him right there.
Played in towards the center line area. And a little foot race action popped up to the game-winning goal scorer for Humber yesterday, Thomas Joseph, and he plays it in towards the middle as Humber looks to get a little offensive push of their own. Good possession for Humber right now. So, Andrew, they're going to have to respond because Algonquin had a little bit of offensive juice there, and you know Humber does not want to let that build, as you know.
No.
The Algonquin team want to throw a couple logs on the fire of some of this offensive energy that they're building.
Yeah, absolutely, and Humber just trying to keep the status quo here, just keep that strong defense going, and just try and possess that ball as long as possible here. Just keep it away from the Wolves.
Couple of substitutions into the game as Algonquin puts in number 19 and number 18. So Bardi Romani and Cassius Miron. Humber with it deep in Wolf territory. Nice play there. That's going to allow the ball to get a little deeper. Centering pass was blocked up. Played over to the captain, Matthew Leitch, and that's going to be misplayed. for an Algonquin throw-in to come up.
Jacob Toast doing a great job to make sure he cut out the gap there, making it difficult for Leitch.
And big kick into the Humber zone. Handled nicely there by Facey. Looking for Damien. Dupuis doing it all by himself right now for Algonquin. A whistle will come and give a free kick to Algonquin. Didn't see a whole lot there, but good individual effort by Dupuis to get the call.
In a pretty good spot here, about 32 yards out.
Viles Molina will take the free kick. There you see the players all bunched up. The official having a word with Thomas Joseph, who will set up as that first line of defense. And this is a good-looking strike, but handled by Sheberstov.
Yeah, a bit surprised he'd go for the direct free kick there when he had 7 men loaded in the box like that. Guess they were just hoping that the ball would kind of pop loose for a rebound.
Well, Sheberstov, he did sort of double clutch one earlier today, but other than that, he has been lights out. You could get this guy a wide receiver contract in professional American football because his hands look real good. And so if they were playing for the rebound, and they weren't going to get it that time.
This is Canada. He could play in the CFL.
Of course. I just say American football to distinguish from what many soccer fans might refer to as football. Moving in here. Nice inside movement. And Humber still with it, deep in the zone. National champion Isaiah Reed with it now for Humber. Reed took some time away, but is back in the mix and is one of the Humber players who has a national championship on his resume.
Yeah, obvious foul there. Algonquin player being tripped up from behind.
So no cards are going to be displayed in the outcome of that play. Player is back on his feet. Okay, the wind, Andrew, seems to have calmed down. That could bode well, not just for these two broadcasters, but for the players on the field and maybe an Algonquin comeback effort as the weather may be less of a hindrance to some smooth soccer action.
Mercure knocked down from behind.
Yeah, no kidding. It was Joseph and Mercure who were tied up there. No call, much to the chagrin of the Algonquin fan base. Wolf Nation. Well, on the update side of the Humber Women's Provincial Championship effort, the Lady Hawks are taking on the Seneca Sting, and the Humber women's team in the 73rd minute are down 3-1. The Seneca Sting are hosting that OCAA Women's Championship, so both the men and women for Humber soccer in gold medal matches today. But much as we've seen throughout the past hour and a half, 2 hours, it's been the Humber men's team sitting in a more pretty spot.
Yeah, end to end here, they've certainly looked like the better team.
Good push here as Humber now passing inside. And Algonquin will look to clear it out. And another whistle that's going to go in favor of Humber.
Mercure arguing his case, but to no avail. Alvarado having a word with the ref as well.
So Facey will take this free kick just about at that midfield area. Reed, nice stretch pass, stretches it out for DK. It's Damien K now with the cross and getting a header on it as Riviere put it in a dangerous spot, but Joseph couldn't get to it. Once again, the ball just bouncing around in the Algonquin zone, right in the crease area.
And Humber getting called for the offside, though.
Yeah, Riviere looked like he had peeped that offside flag, so he was going to give us a chance here. With the sun out at Esther Schreiner Stadium, this chance here that looked pretty good for Humber, but couldn't quite cash it in, Andrew.
Yeah, it's basically the closest Humber's come since that last goal to making it a 3-0 game. But credit to Algonquin, holding up strong here in the second half, not giving Humber anything easy. And the only thing is they've been trying to push, but really haven't been able to get much else done for themselves offensively.
Humber, the #1 ranked team in the nation, and looking to, as they had kind of envisioned, capture provincial gold. Right now sitting in a very good spot. 20 minutes to go in regulation. Andrew, much like the first half, can't imagine we'll have a whole lot of extra time added.
Yeah, 20 minutes left to go, and really haven't been many stoppages to speak of in either half, really. It's been a briskly paced game here so far. Great takeaway.
Reed is working his way onto that far side of the field, and he is fouled.
Second half, you're getting a little more physical here. We've seen a few more fouls called after the referee kind of kept his whistle in his pocket there for a majority of the first half.
That is sent high, and the header on it, dangerous and buried, but the whistle came in early. Humber, I think it was a collision between the keeper and the Humber forward.
Yeah, it's going to be a foul against Algonquin.
Or I guess in favor of the Wolves.
Excuse me, I thought I saw the referee pointing the flag the other way.
But what was close to being another Humber goal. Nullified by the foul.
It's going to be a tense final 18 minutes here at Esther Schreiner Stadium.
Yeah, we're coming right down to the wire, but the Hawks with a little bit of a cushion right now. 2 first half goals by Jacob Ball. Such a dynamic offensive player for Humber amongst a slew of dynamic offensive weapons for the Hawks. Crossing into the middle. Damien K plays it over to Joseph. Thomas Joseph now. This is great ball control by Humber in the offensive zone. You got to think a nice lane will open up for them soon if they keep up with this type of passing. K with it. Back into the middle, quick touch, and Reed not able to get a foot on it.
Humber getting back quickly on defense here. Not wanting to give up anything easy to Algonquin.
And that'll be played into the middle, whistle blown. And we have an injured Algonquin player. That's number 24, who's grabbing, it looks like his right leg, Christian Aviles Molina. And the trainer already out taking a look at Aviles Molina. He'll be helped to his feet now.
And Algonquin getting ready to make a substitution here.
Well, you could maybe say we're in the final period of play right now. It is getting into the home stretch here of this championship game. The gold medal in the province of Ontario is on the line. Humber and Algonquin have met time and time again in this gold medal match. There was a stretch of 4 consecutive gold medal contests between these two teams, starting in 2013 all the way from 2014, 2015, and 2016. It was these two teams who met in that 4-year stretch. Humber captured 3 of those provincial championships and then went on to win the national championship in those years. But Andrew, the most recent meeting of these two teams in the provincial gold game was back in 2016. Humber winning then as well, also going on to win the national championship.
Humber hoping that history can repeat itself this year.
So as of late, Andrew, since the year 2010, it's really been Humber that has really taken that crown. But before 2010, I mean, you look from 2004 to 2009, it was Algonquin with 6 consecutive provincial golds with 1 national gold sprinkled in there as well. So 2 programs that have just been right at the top of OCAA soccer.
And Algonquin winning nationals a couple years before that string of 6 years in a row as well. So a very prestigious program for both these sides.
But as we mentioned, it's been more so Humber as of late that's been able to get the better of the team from Ottawa. And as we sit right now in the 76th minute, that's the dynamic playing out with the Hawks up 2 in the championship game. Nice movement here. That's going to create a little passing lane, but kind of given right to a member of the Wolves. Handled by Algonquin. Stretching it out on that far side, and Sheberstov is going to get a handle on it. So Jacob Ball scored 2, checked out of the game, and Humber have not yet tapped after he came out in the first half. Later on in that frame, hasn't checked back in. But right now, it looks like those 2 goals from Humber's number 6 may have been enough. Pardon me, Humber's number 7 on his jersey. Here comes Algonquin's most dangerous player as Mercure sends it into the middle. And cleared out in a big way, and that thing went real high. Joseph and Mercure battling forward, and Joseph is barreled over, and the call will go in favor of Humber with Mercure getting the foul.
Yeah, big collision there.
Algonquin fans aren't happy with the call. So it's going to be Algonquin's do or die mode that has to get activated right now. Down 2 But Andrew, it's been so tough scoring against Humber this season for all the teams they've faced in the OCAA. And you get to a situation right here where Humber can now even afford to kind of dial up their defensive strategy even more, right?
Yeah, you want to be careful you don't get yourself in kind of a defensive box, kind of play that prevent defense, because when you play prevent defense, it usually means you prevent yourself from winning. So you want to keep things aggressive to an extent if you're the Humber Hawks, but still be mindful of milking the clock.
Yeah, Humber has certainly had that offensive mojo still present in the second half. Despite being up 2, they had some good drives, but you get the sense now, like you said, kind of just drain the clock type of mode. Maybe be a little more cautious not to give Algonquin anything going the other way.
Yeah, just make the smart play. Try and push for that third one if it's available, but don't try and force anything. That one went off the wrong part of Luca Pinto's foot.
Yeah, that'll head backwards and give the Wolves a throw in.
10 minutes left to go, though.
Gold on the line, the OCAA championship game. So far, it is, as that ball kind of flies over the wall there into Narnia. Never be seen again. Mercure battling hard for it. And this is a good-looking strike into the box. Outside the box now, that's going to be high as Sheberstov was tracking it, was right there, but just sent a few feet over the post.
Yeah, kind of a mirror of what we saw that last game where Sheridan kind of was peppering that ball, trying to get some shots late, but just like Sheridan last time, that shot going high. Not quite to Narnia, though.
Not that time. Booted by Peter Sheberstov. And here's the kind of situation where, yeah, you know, Humber is maybe content to just milk the clock, and an injured Humber Hawk, goodness. And could be cramping up perhaps. Not sure which Humber Hawk it is. But typically when you see the leg in the air like that, it is a player that's cramping up.
Yeah, so maybe needs to stretch that out.
And, you know, you see players, they can be cramping on Friday and look this bad in the moment, but be playing, you know, later that day or the following day. But, you know, at any rate, it's excruciating pain for these athletes. And we'll see if the trainer can get them all worked out. So it was actually Marcus Riviere, the rookie who's had a great gold medal performance, especially early in the game. The impact from number 17 was very, very noticeable. And he's certainly been banged up a few times, right? He went down in the box early in the game and seemed to be in quite a lot of pain, and he'll now head off to the sideline with some support from the trainer. Thomas Joseph trying to get under it. Wow, good play as Humber is going to be on the receiving end of that call. They get the throw in here. So an absolutely fantastic campaign for Humber. They have not lost a game all season long. They tied in their second game of the season. After that tie, Andrew, Humber went on to a 5-week streak of not allowing a single goal. Isaiah Reed wrestles the ball away. And Thomas Joseph now is pickpocketed. And the ball put out too far ahead of Mercure.
Yeah, Jacob Toast putting that one just out of reach. That would have been a brilliant opportunity for Algonquin, but not to be.
Humber is very close here, only 6 minutes, and whatever gets added on, that amount of time away from completing a picture-perfect, nearly provincial part of the season. A lot of P's in that sentence. And then Humber will head to the national stage. Both of these teams we see here have earned a trip to New Brunswick, where that maritime province hosting the national tournament. You know, for Humber, this men's program, part of their identity is success at the national level, right? And so far it looks like success at the provincial level this season, as good as you can get. The gold medal appears to be within reach. Or do we get a late game comeback from the Wolves? They haven't been able to score all game long, and they need two with only a few minutes to work with.
And Humber's not going to make it easy for Algonquin here, let alone this guy, Mercure.
And that is booted out by Pinto, but corralled by the Wolves.
Yeah, still in the danger zone.
Coming in hot to block out. It's going to be Algonquin ball, but some good hustle by Humber defensively and keeping Algonquin on the perimeter right now. Nothing going on to the inside.
And Jacob Ball back in.
Yeah, he's kind of using the jets as well. And Sheberstov once again confidently picking that one up. Good plays here as Humber back with it to Isaiah Reed. Reed plays it back to the captain. Big boot from Leitch. Finds Ball. Maybe Ball a chance to get the hat trick to close this game out.
A nice little backheel pass there to Joseph. Didn't quite work. Just 4 minutes to go.
As off of Damian Kay and out for the Algonquin throw-in. Lacey plays it up. Closeout time for Humber. Mercure up that sideline, challenged by Thomas. Thomas Joseph with a little bump. Nice feed into Mercure, but the defensive play by Lacey. Championship effort right there from number 5.
Yeah, well, Humber, one of their best defenders back there, making no mistake, preventing what could have been a huge goal.
Yeah, LaShawn Facey in his first year, 6'3". And Facey, the rookie, is not playing like it right now. That was, again, championship DNA on display there, as it looked like, you know, Algonquin pops one in there, Andrew. That could have totally changed the vibe. You know, the fans would have gone ballistic. Whistle here, and what's going to be the ruling? A yellow card is given out. Looks like Damian Kay on the receiving end of that.
Yeah, you can't get your foot up that high to make a play. Your cleats, I should say. And to your point before, man, both of Humber's center backs, both first-year players, Carmen Fiore and LaShawn Facey. So could be quite the dynamic center back pair for the next few years for this team.
Yeah, a lot of great first-year players for Humber. Sheberstov in net. See if he gets challenged here on this play. Some good in-tight passing for Algonquin. And too strong to the outside, and the Humber fans can start to feel it now. Take another look there by Facey, the rookie. And we saw this great play here by Algonquin's #1 offensive star. Right here he is, moving in.
Yeah, just barely keeping it inbounds there. Player there almost had a lane, but Facey just getting in there to prevent him.
Celebration, too. You know, he's fired up, making a big play in his first provincial championship game. And, you know, Humber's maybe starting to visualize the feeling of the gold medal around the neck. Humber lost last year's provincial championship game. It was the Conestoga Condors in a provincial battle of the birds that went in favor of Conestoga. Humber had to settle for silver. And before that, Humber had won 4 consecutive provincial championships, 3 of those being national championship seasons as well. So Andrew, this is a chance for Humber to reclaim the provincial gold. And it's looking, as we knock on the door of the 90th minute, that may be in store for the Birds. Well, Andrew, for the Humber women's team, they have fallen short in the OCAA championship game on the women's side, as the Seneca Sting are the women's gold medalists this year.
Yeah, a bit of a disappointing in there for Humber, but a great turnaround. They started the season 0-4, but finished up strong and go to the championship match. Can't be too disappointed with that.
Mercure is incensed. He tried to keep it in, Andrew. As impartial as I can be as a Humber Hawk commentator, I do agree with the call. That looked like it was out. We'll get a second look, but Algonquin fans are not happy at any rate.
Yeah, he gave chase there.
Slow it down to... That's out of play.
Definitely out of bounds.
And maybe even, I think he kept it in on the goal line, but on the sideline there.
The Let's Go Humber chant starting here.
Andrew, we're at the 90th minute. We mentioned don't expect a whole lot of extra time here, as Isaiah Reed looks to get it out of the zone. Ball, the man of the match. You know, Andrew, we saw in the bronze medal match, it was a natural hat trick from Pellegrini, Michael Pellegrini, that sealed the deal for Seneca. Kind of a similar dynamic here, where it's one man doing the scoring, not a hat trick, but pretty close. And 2 goals for Ball may be all we needed here for the Humber Gold.
Yeah, it certainly looks that way. And Jacob Ball, what more can you say about his game here today, especially the way he started, scoring early, adding another one.
And we'll have an official kind of stoppage in play right now, as a yellow card is issued to Algonquin's number 2. Oh, that was actually number 17. I guess Mercure is on the business end of that yellow. Sorry, Humber's going to be getting that, but add in. Good punch out there.
That's an offside against Algonquin. Barty Romani had his hands on his head there. He couldn't believe it. And I can't imagine that Algonquin's going to have too many more opportunities here.
Well, it feels like we don't have a whole lot of time left here before the celebration is on. Andrew, what a fun gold medal match we've had the pleasure of calling here today. First half, the energy was true to roof. You know, I mean, ultimately 2 goals coming in that first half, and a good second half effort as well, where Humber has continued to have that edge.
Yeah, I mean, Humber always does such a tremendous job hosting these tournaments. Always a lot of fun. And this game here, no disappointment for the championship final. A lot of action. Definitely felt like the championship final. And credit to the players keeping it clean as well.
Reed strips it away. Isaiah Reed feeds it into Ball. Jacob Ball with maybe hat trick hopes.
Lige, good job to prevent Jaden Mercure from getting away there.
And Out of bounds. Humber will have the throw in. Feels like our final whistle could be here at any given time.
The Humber faithful certainly hope so.
There you have it. Your provincial champions, the Humber Hawks men's soccer team. They are back atop the province of Ontario. Fell last year in the provincial championship game, but how sweet it is to be champs once more.
Yeah, I mean, Humber from front to back this season just looked like the best team here in the OCAA. We mentioned just had a one little hiccup in their second game with that draw, but still remaining undefeated. And they're going to look to take the success to Fredericton, New Brunswick, looking to become national champions for their 10th time in program history. And that would mean that those 9 little stars would get replaced with 1 big star on top of the logo.
Humber putting on the champion t-shirts right now, and that's exactly the article of clothing they were kind of probably thinking about this morning, getting up for this game. 2-0 our final. Jacob Ball, the man of the match. We mentioned he scored 2 in the first half, a scoreless second half, allowing Humber to cruise along over the team from the nation's capital. But it was a hard-fought one. But Andrew, at the end of the day, some good early game offense from Humber. A little less offensive intensity from both teams really in the second half. But the defensive play from Humber, I mean, just giving Algonquin virtually nothing to work with in terms of quality offensive chances. And when they were there, it was Sheberstov in net to shut the door.
Yeah, I mean, Sheberstov, let's give a big hand to him. Had to make some tremendous saves here today. Looks steady as ever back there, but Humber as a unit, as an 11-man unit, just made things so difficult for the Algonquin Wolves. Didn't let them have anything easy. Scoring chances for them were few and far between. And that is certainly the play you expect from a champion.
There's the salute to the home fans. Humber playing the semifinal yesterday on their regular season home field at the Ontario Soccer Centre in Vaughan. Today we're at Esther Shiner Stadium in North York, about a 25-minute drive from their home field. And I guess, yeah, you can certainly give them the home field advantage as Algonquin having to come all the way from the nation's capital in Ottawa. But the 4-1-6 reigns supreme in this contest. And all smiles for Humber as, like you highlighted, next stop, Fredericton for the Nationals. Now, Algonquin has earned their spot in the national tournament as well.
With the tougher seed, though, they're going to probably have to face one of the provincial champions. And most likely Humber will play St. Thomas in the quarterfinal matchup to begin that tournament. But just 3 wins away from becoming national champions once again for the Humber Hawks. What a season it's been.
Yeah, the St. Thomas Tommies are hosting the national tournament. And you said that likely matchup against Humber.
See some friends and family of the players crowding the field here as we get ready for the MVP of the game and, of course, the medals being awarded here. And one pooch as well.
Yeah, we do have a canine on the field. And for Algonquin, obviously, great disappointment. There is said pooch who's having a fun time going to war with that leash.
He just wants to be let free.
Let him run. And you see a lot of the fans flocking onto the field to show respect to an excellent effort. And now it's time to give out the awards here, Andrew. So we're going to get some of the tournament all-stars, the MVPs here. What a fantastic match. Now it's time for the ceremony. Player of the game for Algonquin is number 7, Gershom Dupuis. We saw him with some great offensive play. He really did a good job carrying the ball, helping to push things forward for Algonquin.
Yeah, the striker certainly playing well here today for Algonquin.
And player of the game for Humber, no surprise, it is officially Jacob Ball.
And balled out he did today, especially in that first half, a tremendous effort.
Give a lot of credit to Mella as well, as Franz Mella was doing a great job controlling the pace of play for Humber. We saw Marcus Riviere, the rookie, outstanding as well. Humber's keeper came up big, kept this a scoreless match. Peter Sheberstov, that is. So we have the tournament all-star Jacob Toast, officially announced here, number 13.
Good presence from that left back position here all day, doing well to get the transition game going, but a steady defender as well. Jaden Mercure also getting named Tournament All-Star. The standout performance in yesterday's matchup in the semifinal against the Sheridan Bruins. Had a goal and an assist. Jason Alvarado, another tournament all-star. The steady performer from the midfield.
Humber Athletic Director Ray Chateau right beside the young man there, handing out the award.
And Matias Lascano getting named the other tournament all-star.
Lascano with a great effort here today. You highlighted, like Mello, one of those guys that just is very confident and comfortable hanging on to the ball and patiently looking for the right lane. Tournament MVP about to be announced here, Andrew. Matthew Leitch, the captain, is the tournament MVP here in the OCAA championship, and got to give him credit. And really, it's the whole thing of defense wins championships, and when you do a good job on the back end like Matthew Leitch has done, it really helps your team get to the top, right?
Yeah, and from that right back spot, so instrumental in the transition play as well, moving that ball up the field. Certainly has a good touch from there as well.
So one by one, the Wolves will come up and accept their silver medals. And here's a look at the injured keeper on crutches. And this was a big loss for Algonquin. Such an outstanding player in between the pipes and unavailable for the championship game after getting injured in the semifinal victory over Sheridan. Give full credit to the man that stepped in, Olivier Langlois. But Humber proving that the #1 nationally ranked team is just maybe a little too hot to handle when they're playing their best. But hats off to Algonquin for a hard-fought game.
Yeah, absolutely. And Humber, that marks 11 provincial championships in the last 14 seasons. So just pure domination from this squad, led by, of course, head coach Michael Aquino.
So this team head coached by Angus Wong in his 3rd year at the helm. Finishing with silver and earning a trip out east. Certainly an impressive feat. Didn't see this game fall in their direction on this day, but a great season for the Wolves. And there you have it, the banner raising. The Humber Hawks once again atop the province of Ontario. They took a year off after falling in last year's gold medal match, but Andrew back on top the province of Ontario.
Yeah, and that banner's going to be hung just outside of the North Campus gym back at Humber. And these boys, next stop, Fredericton, New Brunswick for the national championship. I can't wait.
The celebration is on for now with provincial gold. Their family members, you can see, encroaching in. All love and smiles for the Humber Hawks. Give full credit to the effort from the Algonquin Wolves. Both these teams heading to, like you said, New Brunswick for the national tournament. For all of us here at the Hawks Sports Network, my broadcast partner Andrew Milani and myself, Matt Hamill, thank you for being with us for this gold medal match. We'll see you next time.